the new Parkway Theater, where good food, diverse entertainment, and community create a place for everyone. For showtimes and special events, check out www.thenewparkway.com. You are listening to High Score 510, where real talk is our vernacular.
And also, my credit card shout out go to whatever flea market DJartt got that mustache.
I told you, Hitler's Closet, new shop on Telegraph.
Hitler's Exchange.
They also buy clothing from before 1942.
It's like Goodwill, but it's Badwill.
Chico DeBarge's old mustache is on clearance.
Y'all just jealous because you can't grow like this.
You do look like one of DeBarge, like adopted brother.
You look like that. Looked like something that would have came out of Lizzo's armpits when she decided to shave for the first time.
You talking about Jared got Lizzo's landing strip?
Yeah, Lizzo's landing strip.
He got Lizzo's landing strip. He just turned it sideways and put it
Jared
right
got a
there.
Lizzo landing strip right here.
So maybe you guys don't like the new me.
I got more than 256 gigs on my brain.
I beg to defer.
Defer?
I beg to defer.
Defer.
It's like a Jamaican guy saying differ. I beg to defer.
You beg to differ, kind of like your boy.
It's your boy Chetana.
Who? Oh, Chet, my boy Chetana. That's your boy Chetana.
Filled it up too, Jared. Man, I do this on my own. You didn't help with shit.
Yeah, I'm glad you stopped acting like an old ass man.
After I made my grits and deer meat.
Come on.
You making deer meats too?
Yeah. Hold on.
Adarius, this man, Aaron, we was on Zoom last night doing some games with a couple of the friends and coworkers. And this fool, Aaron, was like, "Man, I don't know why you starting at 9:30. I'm in bed. I took my contacts out. You know he planned to go to bed if he took his contacts out. He's like, I got my contacts out, already brushed my teeth. I'm laying here in bed on my belly trying to digest all this food. I got the itis." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "I'm tired. You don't get it. Why would you start playing a game on a Saturday night at 9:30? I was like, "Nigga, because it's Saturday night at 9:30.
I don't know, Aaron. That sounds like a good point to me. You may not have quarantine.
No. See, it's different for you. Like I told him, it would be different if you, Ed, or Brandon was on it. It made sense because you guys have kids. You busy during the day with the kids. Start at 9:30. He had all single guys with nothing to do on it. Just started 2 hours earlier.
I feel you. That's pretty pointless.
We had all day to do nothing. Like, here's the thing. We're doing nothing all day.
I was doing stuff during the day. I had other things I was doing. That's why I couldn't start till 9:30.
Man, you wasn't doing shit. You probably slept to 12 or 1.
No, it was actually 1:30.
See, you slept till 1:30.
I'm sure Brandon's probably is taking a little longer trying to put the little one down, but let me put my 3D glasses on so I can see y'all.
That's what Jared says right before he does it.
Hey, do I look like I'm like in a 90s music video with these on?
No, it's not the glasses. It's the puka shells.
These ain't puka, man. This is obsidian and pearls.
You look like a wind advisor in Hawaii.
Come on. I look like you should be selling mangoes on the side of the road.
You look like you perform weddings in Hawaii, and then when people get back to the mainland, when they go to have them annulled or check it out, they realize it wasn't official.
Yeah, you look like you sweep up for a lot of beaches. You look like you still look for jewelry with them scanners.
Oh, you talking about with the metal detectors?
Yeah.
I got one of those.
I bet you do.
Brandon is running a little late, but I guess we can start without him.
Hold on. Give me 1 second. It sounds like crackhead out here fighting.
Aaron's got a full 180 view with all the windows in his room, so he can see where the fight is happening.
Hold on. There's a crack fight somewhere I gotta attend to.
All right, so I guess we should start the show then.
Let's do it.
Adarius, can I get a letter?
D.
D.
Put that D all around there. I can't wait. Go ahead. Huh?
Daffodils, dandelions,
of course.
deadbeat daddies, dildos, didgeridoos, Django, Dembele.
What?
Dembele. That's Aaron's favorite soccer player.
Come on, man.
They're gonna jump.
You didn't say his
They're
name.
gonna
Right.
jump. What do you mean how to say his name right?
It's Dembele. You said Dembele.
Negro, you gonna try and coach me on how to enunciate words?
Give yourself a magic moment.
Hey, I just said Dembele. I put an
Give yourself
accent on it.
a Nigerian magic moment.
Anyways, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, look. Oh, we got the fourth member of the crew coming in. Oh, there he is. Can you hear me?
Beef Varnado.
Well, Brandon, we're about to start the show, so we're just about to kick it off. So you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, man.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
By kick it off, that means you're gonna kick yourself off.
Hey, Brandon, can you turn up your audio a little bit? You're coming in a little low.
Beef Varnado.
Brandon coming in low?
I can hear you guys pretty clear. Brandon was a little bit low. What's up, Brandon?
All right, can you hear me now?
That's better.
Now, let's play around with this.
Speak into the mic. Jamie DeWolf it.
Actually, think about the headset. I mean, that'll probably be better because the mic's closer to my face.
Oh, you got a mic in that headset?
Yeah.
Speaking to the mic. That's what Ella said.
I haven't heard one of those in a long time. Welcome back, Adarius.
No problem, guys. Welcome back. You know what I'm here for. Don't play with the
I
sound
don't give
effects,
a
Jerry.
gosh darn.
Wow. I won't even compete with this guy.
Birds flying over a woman with big breasts.
Wow. Still at it.
Still, yes.
Same tactics. Different disabled man. Same tactics.
Can't stop, won't stop. Oh, I gotta put my mustache on. Hold on. This is
Come
my
on,
quarantine mustache.
Beef Varnado. I might have to put on my jacket since y'all are getting fancy. Hold on, I'll be right back.
All right, well, let's start the show.
Let's start the show then, nigga.
All right, I'm ready. Let's go.
Something.
Jared, we couldn't start the show because you're doing these stupid ass sound effects, man.
You jealous because my mustache is getting nicer than yours.
Jared, that's turf that you stole from all of your school districts.
And how I sound right now, Jared?
Sound good.
Like a pedophile.
Jared, the one looking like Jared looking like a pedophile when he got to go and tell everybody that he got to check into the neighborhood he just moved into. Like trying to wear a mustache, so that way when he take it about a couple months ago, shave the mustache and then take off the sunglasses.
These are my
Start
3D.
selling ice cream.
These are my 3D goggles, so I can see y'all clear. That's why I wear these.
Start selling ice cream.
Anyways, I think I'm gonna.
Mustache every time.
You said what?
So you go into Costco stealing all the toilet paper, you come back with a mustache. Well, that wouldn't
Yeah.
be because of Pedro.
I think Brandon sound lower than before.
Yeah, Brandon, you sound lower than before.
What's going on, man?
Stop buying those. Stop. You doing like Pedro buying them cheap ass microphones.
Why
at
you wearing your
Fry's.
PlayStation headset?
It's not PlayStation.
That's a Pedro move. Pedro wears PlayStation headset on the computer and then some cheap ass phone headset on PlayStation. Talking about, wait, you can hear someone coming from over there, Aaron? You hear a gunshot right now?
That's hilarious. All right, what is going on with me today?
Just stop wearing your PlayStation headset.
Turn my headphones on.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You were really loud earlier. Earlier, you sounded really good.
Yeah, it was better with the other ones.
When you didn't have anything on, when you were talking to me earlier when we were setting up, it sounded you were nice and loud then.
All right, for sure. Let me unplug this.
How's that?
That's good.
Yeah, but he don't want the family to hear him hearing you acting
You know
like a
what?
fool and a Darius cursing
First
you
of all,
out.
like I tell people who want to be guests, you're responsible for what you say. I can't be responsible for what y'all say. I think my daughter's asleep now, so y'all just go at it.
Oh, that's cool. That's nice. Well, then, Jared, go fuck yourself.
All right. Well, we're gonna start the show now.
Once I'm naked, no bullet can affect me.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to the High Score or watching the High Score 510 podcast. You can catch us on at High Score 510 on the Instagram, Twitter, and the YouTube. And you can also check us out on at highscore510.com. Shout out sponsorship. Aside from that, we are here with Aaron.
This is Aaron Grayson III, Mr. AG, also known as AG3, also known as AG Smooth. Coming at you like Lolo Jones, quarantined but needing less attention.
It starts with buses, but next they will want to integrate schools and restaurants. And before you know, some nigga will want to integrate the sweet pink nether regions of your white wife or your white daughter.
Wow. That's a lot.
Did nobody do that to Lolo Jones, though? You see her on the ice bath? What's up? Yeah.
She's done every challenge in quarantine.
No, she was on the Kevin Hart Ice Bath Challenge, the TV show, and she was talking about she was waiting until marriage, even though,
She's still waiting? I think she's lying by now, Jared.
She
Somebody
said,
ran up through there.
She said Blake Griffin was a bad kisser. And then she was talking about, it keeps her on edge because she's trying to be a top tier athlete. So she says she's difficult to work with because she's always on edge, apparently.
That sounds like more for like a guy than like a woman. I don't ever hear that. She's just full of shit.
We got to get some definitions of what she considers being a virgin is now.
Yeah.
Because some people are like, oh man, like I ain't let him come inside of me, so then I'm still a virgin.
Yeah, she gonna tell me she a virgin. I'm in the marrying her, and then on wedding night, she over there trying to sneak a balloon full of ox blood in there in the bed.
That would mean technically Jared is also a virgin because he's only had fingers up his butt.
But he still tells people you'll feel him the same.
He be telling people he lost his virginity at Berkeley High.
Man, it was my 10th grade year, like my second year at Berkeley High.
It was my 10th grade year at the high, man. let some girl finger my butt.
And we are also here with
Brandon, aka Taco Pablo. Happy to be on the show, man.
No, man, all bitches are the same, just like my hoes, I keep them broke. Wake up one morning with some money, the subject to go crazy, I keep them looking good, pretty, and all that, but no dough. When I get a bitch, I got a bitch right on.
Obviously, Jared was watching those black exploitations.
Jared's a walking black exploitation.
The modern day.
And we are also here with
my name is Adarius. I'm just simply known as the owner of the podcast. I ain't got nothing else to say other than Jared will be receiving a cease and desist at some point. So I'm just here making sure legally there's no liability on my end. People know that I still own the podcast. So when I decide to sue Jared, there's no discrepancies.
Right.
All right, here's your soundbite, Adarius.
No, I don't want.
You been since yesterday, knuckle. You been fucking around?
Nope.
Let me smell your dick.
That was damn baby boy. That was baby boy.
I gave that one to Brandon too last time he came on the show for the first time.
Jared, you sure my sound working?
Yeah, your sound's good. And my name is Jared, aka DJartt, with two T's for a double dose of that tink tink. The D is silent, so it's just Jart.
Quick! I'm gonna kill you, quick! You made me shoot one of my boys in the back of the head!
All right.
So exciting.
Hey, shout out to Harlem Nights sponsorship. It is on Netflix. Make sure you catch it while you still can. Okay. I had to go buy it on DVD a couple years ago just because it was on Netflix and off. You never know what's going to come back.
How often you watching this movie, Jared?
I watch it, when I need a good laugh and just a good pick-me-up, I'll put it on. Because, unlike Life, which was a very depressing movie, Harlem Nights is a very uplifting movie because the brothers win in the end.
I agree.
They win. Win.
Not one of those fake wins like in Life.
Yeah.
They sitting at a Yankee game.
sitting at a Yankee game like, man, all I want to do in my life was make sure I lived to my 90s and make sure I got to one baseball game while I spent the rest of it in jail in Tupelo, Mississippi.
It's some cheap ass seats.
He's like,
They missed all the Yankees titles too.
I want a nigga stealing my cornbread every day, and the only dude that could get out of the motherfucker was a dude who couldn't get right, named Bokeem Woodbine. Yeah.
He didn't die though, did he? Did he end up dying?
Who? Bokeem Woodbine?
In the movie?
You know how they start.
I think they all died of old age.
Yeah, they all. Yeah.
Oh, except for them. Okay, you're right.
Yeah, they survived everybody else, and then they faked their own death and escaped at the end so they can go watch a baseball game.
But they never show. But they never show having the can't get right though. Remember, that nigga still with him.
Oh, he went to the baseball league. Remember, they took him to the league.
I know, but like is that death, my nigga? Like I'm asking, did he die?
Oh, he probably did die. Probably at some point. I don't know. Never know. But at least he got out. He got out in his prime too. He's baseball playing age, so he had to be in his no more than his early 30s probably.
They would have let you out too, Jerry. You would have been the can't get right or kickball.
They would have had me on that dodgeball. Y'all ready for some news?
Yeah, I'm over here watching the news.
In our first news segment. Let me get this. Let me make sure I read this correctly. This is a sports news article. It's pretty interesting. Idaho became the first state to ban transgender women and girls from competing in women's sporting events. The male sex law targets high school and college athletics where transgender women have been having perceived unfair advantages and setting records in different sporting events in the last couple of years. But yeah, so Idaho is the first state to ban transgender women and girls from competing in women's athletics.
That's a slippery slope.
Shout out to Idaho.
It's a real slippery slope. It's a slippery slope. That's a hard one, Jared. I don't know how you're going to bring that up. I don't have the answers or opinion.
I know how Jared's going to bring it up because he's mad now he can't compete in Idaho. I know exactly why he brought that shit up.
Don't hate, baby. Don't hate. No, man, I just thought it was interesting. It's been a point of contention amongst the sports world that has been something like you said, Aaron. It's a slippery slope. People don't want to talk about it. I think it's interesting.
Hard. I mean,
it is hard because we're at the precipice of a moment in time when it comes to, gender identity and sex and gender and all that, spectrum of life and how people identify. And so it's interesting to see during a pandemic that they're still continuing to pursue other legislation, and Idaho is the first to pass this legislation to not allow transgender women to compete in women's sports. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I feel like it's one of those things where you got to let people hopefully challenge themselves and face or pursue whether it's their dreams or just a form of recreation to express themselves and actualize their physical embodiment and experience. But I do understand that there has been some instances where transgender women have dominated in certain I know it's been track and field and weightlifting events have been the main ones where there's been like state records set and kickball where I dominate.
Wrestling.
Wrestling.
Amateur boxing.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder, like, I guess, is this something where do you create another category, or is it like, I think this is where we're still, learning how to navigate the identity component is like, do we create another sport, subdivision, or do we just accept it wholly, or do we, like what Idaho's doing, is rejecting it in a very strong way?
You think, would you watch a transgender league or event take place? Right? Like, where's the money going to come from to put on the events? Number one. Number two, I think you should you should be able to take estrogen or testosterone to then compete against somebody. I feel like you're doing it all natural. You want to just say you're a woman. All right, fine. Like, do that, but you don't have to, all the medication to help you do that. Like, you shouldn't be able to take that.
Yeah.
especially in a physical contact sport, right, where somebody else can get hurt based on like your biology, right? So if someone's fighting a dude, or a transgendered woman is fighting a woman, right? Like she biologically has more bone density and like more strength naturally. So I don't think they should be fighting anybody.
Yeah, well, Fallon Fox, I remember she was an MMA fighter, and she, I don't know, I haven't heard much of her since a couple years ago, but I know that she won her first few fights, and people were saying it seemed unfair or whatnot.
I saw one of them. It did seem unfair. It seemed like it was domestic abuse.
She was just like boom, boom. It was man punches versus girl punches. There's no offense to girl punches. Like they got form, but like you could probably take like a good like 8 to 9 girl punches. This dude was like, that shit was crazy. Like straight standing up, just like fuck you. I'm about to like, nah, man. If you're gonna be a transgender and you're gonna be an MMA, you gotta only windmill. That's the only move you can do. That's
like you're only allowed to grab their hair and windmill.
That's it. All your transgender ass.
You gotta stand like this too when you come in.
Yeah, you gotta hold your titties.
Hey, it's a tough one, Jared. I can't believe you put it on the docket.
Hey, man, it just happened this past week.
We about to get kicked.
We ain't getting kicked from nothing, bro. We talking about some real stuff right now. I think it's interesting. I think that y'all should, ruminate on it a little bit. I think y'all all brought up good points, though.
This is my advice. Leave Idaho if you're a transgender model. It's not a good place for you to be. I mean, athlete. It's not a good place for you to be, period. As a transgender, probably. There's probably more safer havens for you. I know if you're growing up, it might be hard, but, have that dream and go somewhere else where they'll allow you to play and compete.
Yeah.
And until then, transgender athletes in Idaho, there is a stay-in-place order. You're not allowed to play outside. You got to play inside.
Or you can play in Beaverton, Oregon. I got an address for you. To go play at. There's a guy there. There's a guy there with the pineapple jacket. Pineapple's a symbol of welcome. He has a pineapple jacket for you. All transgender athletes, Beaverton, Oregon.
Aloha.
Adarius wearing his poi jacket. I think it's
a Mr. Potato Head. You look like somebody did a caricature of Bob Marley on the beach.
Bob Marley covers. I got a guitar here. Somebody hold my guitar. I got my guitar over here.
It's a 4-minute sketch. Go.
Hey, I think the most important thing though is Idaho, condemning or suppressing the rights to be transgender in general beyond the sporting thing. Like the rest of are you being discriminated in your ability to practice religion? Are you being discriminated against in your ability just to live and maintain a job? And those are most important. Sports is like a secondhand thing, but is a component of saying our identity in our country. So that is still important in certain ways. But are you able to get the medical attention you need and to deal with some of the issues or the challenges that also go into that transition and that process, and just the medical care you need as a person that is transgender. So I think that's most important. I just thought it was interesting because the article highlighted that, but I didn't see anything in there about whether or not people are being discriminated against in any other way in the state of Idaho as transgender men or women. So I think that's a higher priority to me, but it's definitely in the sports world. It's part of our content. So I thought it was interesting. All right, let's move on. Any final words? Anybody want to say anything else about that?
Anybody else want to talk about Jared's sport going out? It's like all these other sports are like literally done. Jared's like, look, just know that the transgenders of Idaho have no chance.
They can't. Hey, what they need to do? They could do like the Big Three and do their Big Brother TV show. They could have a transgender version where they have a house where all the transgender people get in and they have TV show and they play tournament and stuff.
With all the stuff going on in the world, I just don't know how we got here.
This week in the news, the governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp, finally ordered a shelter-in-place order for the entire state. and canceled all the rest of the school year for K through 12 schools. Okay. He came out and said new information within the last 24 hours came up to let him know that asymptomatic people can transmit the disease. It was April 1st when he said this.
No, he's been late. You don't know one mayor yesterday of a coastal town this morning called him an idiot.
Oh, you know, so then after on the first, which was 4 days ago, he finally came through and said, in the last 24 hours, he said in this press conference, you can watch it. In the last 24 hours, we just found out that asymptomatic people can transmit the disease and that it could be way worse than we thought. Motherfucker. I was like, motherfucker. The last 24 hours. That means that, so you 2 to 3 weeks behind. Then yesterday or 2 days ago, he reopened the beaches. In his shelter-in-place order, he reopened the beaches in the state, or he allowed the beaches to stay open.
Some people just getting the memo, Jarrett.
Some people just getting the memo. But here's my thing.
Shout out to LA.
Hey, where are they telling y'all?
Close to beaches.
Where are they telling y'all to go when you want to find out how to prevent the spreading of COVID-19?
CDC.
CDC.org. Can anybody tell me where the CDC headquarters?
It's in Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia. So the motherfucker that runs the state where the CDC is headquartered at didn't know this shit until 24 hours ago on the 1st.
You're forgetting his name is Trump Jr., Jarrett.
Brian Kemp?
That's the mayor of Florida. He's Trump.
I'm talking about a governor. This is bigger than a mayor. Like a mayor, a mayor could be somebody who.
There's been several governors who are very stupid. The governor of Florida, the governor of Georgia, who have been like doing exactly what our administration are done in the beginning, their presidential administration. They were denying it. They were doing this. They were slow. Luckily, some of those cities out there have really good mayors who already had a shelter in place in order, already was trying to do things. And so, yeah, can't be surprised.
Jared's always so surprised.
I was kind of surprised. It's a governor of a state.
You're a real idiot.
Governor of a state. Not to mention there was already like people coming down with the Rona throughout Georgia for weeks up to before that. They found an employee at a chicken and waffle joint. Now that's a big problem. Chicken and waffle joint, somebody working there got the Rona. That means a bunch of niggas got the Rona now. They prepping your food and they got the Rona. All them niggas eating there probably got Rona now.
Especially since they serve you water with their fingers in your glasses like this. They be bringing over your water. Here you go, baby. I think that's the way the Waffle Houses are trained to bring you their cup of water. They carry 3 cups with their fingers in it like this. Here, baby. Here's your water. Got it. Mama got your water. This is your first time to Georgia. This is your first time to Jacksonville. This is your first time to any city in Florida. I got your water right here.
Get your little finger water, boy.
Exactly. They might have had the Rona for a long time, Jared.
Ain't nothing wrong with the finger water.
Well, I don't know. I found it was kind of striking, and I was in awe that it was a governor to just the information. He said that we just found out the new information within the last 24 hours on April 1st, that he just found out that asymptomatic people can still spread the virus.
Jared, he was writing party lines, man. He was writing party lines, dude. He had to stay true to the party.
You don't say that in your speech, though, when you address the media. You don't say, hey, I just found out in the last 24 hours that asymptomatic people can spread it. Motherfucker, I'm pretty sure that the Street Spirits had it on their pages 3 weeks ago. I bought it from somebody.
I don't know. I ain't buying no Street Spirit. I didn't buy them before because I didn't want to touch them. I really ain't touching them now.
I bought me a Street Spirit.
Street Spirit. My auntie sells Street Spirit, and I still wouldn't touch them.
Hey, it's a 25-year anniversary, bro. I bought one a month ago.
That's nice. You probably got Rona.
Let's move on. Let's get into some sports topics.
Sports? This is a sports show?
Enough niggas in here to make a Tarzan movie.
Things are getting bad for ESPN to the point where they're trying to figure out whatever the fuck they can do to create new programming because sports ain't happening and the TV shows they've been doing are all dependent on sports. So they're trying to figure out a new event they can create. So they are pairing up and in deep negotiations with the NBA to put on a game of horse with high-profile players and players from the NBA will be able to convene in a game of horse against each other and play in isolation at their own home gyms and courts and whatnot.
I mean, I only watch if Stephen A is doing the commentating.
I only watch it if they bring back like old players and have them play in their backyards. Because the one thing I don't want to see is one of these NBA players with all this money and they quarantine in some big ass, 2,000 foot square. I mean, not 2,000, 200,000 foot house with a full basketball gym and shit like that. I want to see, you know what? If they do it, I want a comparison. I want LeBron James to be in it so we can see his mega house, have Curry, right? And then have some weak ass fool who, on the bottom, like Quinn Cook's house, right? And then have
I mean Quinn Cook's apartment.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Have him shooting on a Nerf, right? He got to shoot on a Nerf. Jordan Jammer in the back room.
Like, you got to shoot from your knees. He got one of them door hanging hoops.
And then get my boy Isaiah Ryder, J.R. Ryder, in it, and he's like shooting in the wastebasket or the clothes hamper. That's the only way I want to see it. It got to be like that.
His roommate filming it.
He got his roommate filming it on IG Live. That's the only way I'll watch that shit. I don't want to see some rich ass person in some big ass house sitting there. I'd rather watch Lolo Jones do nothing. Bench press.
Why hate for Lolo Jones today?
I don't know. I just, it's the thing.
They're players, man. They're all rich. They all got houses. They all got trainers.
Not all of them do. Not all of them do.
Aaron, my question is, would you rather watch Lolo Jones do nothing or a Mia Khalifa movie?
Probably Lolo Jones sleeping on her couch. While turned backwards, Andy Cap style. Right? Like Andy Cap, that old cartoon. Her turned backwards is better than watching Mia Khalifa movie. Mia Khalifa, who claimed she only made $9,000. She needs to give it back. I watched one of them scenes recently. She needs to give it back. I put it on to go to sleep. Last night. Remember when you were trying to get on that Zoom call? I put on a Mia Khalifa movie and went to sleep. That's sleep I had during the quarantine.
Aaron's lullaby is a Mia Khalifa thing.
Yep. And it was supposed to be a raunchy one too. Put me to sleep.
Yeah, and that's what you doing these days, man.
Hey, so my real question is, since ESPN is struggling to create content, what are some other like events or competitions they can create and put on that you would watch?
I would watch. I brought this up. I would watch the apartment Olympics. That's when a bunch of niggas just run around their apartment doing regular household things, like taking the trash out as fast as you can, or doorbell dishing niggas on different floors. The winner, Jared suggested the winner gets their rent paid for the whole month. I think that's a fascinating idea. Also, I got one. You could have just like Attack of the Zombies or even Tag. You just unleash one nigga in your building who got corona, and then you just gotta fire through the particles. If you catch it, you lose. Obviously, you lose, nigga. But you should just try to win. All right, that should be a good game.
Nah, I think you should have people walk around Aaron's neighborhood blindfolded, try not to step in dog shit.
That'd be impossible. You can also have the what I like to play, it's like Frogger. It's like I call it crack pong, and it's trying to maintain your 6 feet of social distance away from a crack addict because they don't know what 6 feet social distance mean.
They don't.
I'm walking, and one of them told me, one of them, true story, I got stabbed last night, back of my neck. Can you check it for me?
Go on with that, man.
Dude, she was like, can you look? What does it look like? I stabbed in the back of my neck. Can you help me out? I'm like, God damn it. I'm supposed to be keeping 6 feet distance. I'm not looking at a stab wound on the back of your neck. So I like to call it crack pong. Pong. And it's how do you maintain 6 feet of distance away from crackheads while walking down my neighborhood?
Well, they were out at Trader Joe's last week. Well, you know how you got to line up to go in the store now. So you got to wait, like you might be in line 20, 30 minutes before you get to go in the store. And so all these crackheads know they got a captive audience. So they just try to get closer and closer and closer.
Wait for you to give them money so they walk away.
Cost money.
You give me money, I'll leave.
Exactly. You give me money, I back up 2 whole feet.
But we got a plan.
They probably walking up with rulers. You see, that's where 6 feet is. I'm not in it until I get $1.
Yeah,
Damn, that's a smart crack move, man. Oh man, that makes me want to panhandle.
Come on.
That's good.
I mean, he was out there like, man, all I need is $10, and he was just going up to everybody.
All I need is for you to move.
I know a couple white ladies just turned around and walked away. They're like, I'll come back later.
I know. I'm not dealing with this Negro.
Yeah, man. Real
Damn.
out there.
Yeah, man. So ESPN struggling.
Well, the crazy thing about ESPN though, they don't do a lot of sports, right? It's mostly them talking about sports.
Yeah.
They show basketball. They got football Monday, but other than that, that's what they got.
Man, I'm paying for ESPN Plus right now, and they ain't got shit going on. They like, man, you
ain't cancel that?
Man, I'm so mad. I can't even watch the obscure sports they was offering. Like, man, you could see Southeastern Indiana State versus Little Prairie College. I was like, I don't want to watch the women's soccer teams play right now, and they got that going on. They got a lacrosse game going on. All that got canceled too now. So now I can't even watch shitty sports.
What do you think about the NBA playing all their games in one stadium now?
In one stadium?
Yeah,
Vegas.
Quarantine all the players, and then just having them play out the rest of the season just in one stadium.
Good luck with that,
They
nigga.
wouldn't travel anymore.
Dude, so some games gonna be at midnight?
Basically a game every day of the week.
They gonna quarantine all the IG models they trying to fuck too?
Well, that's how you find the gaps in security right there.
It's pretty funny. A bunch of IG models quarantined in Vegas. That's pretty funny.
Like, put them all in one hotel room.
They need to quarantine them now, so that way we can know they're safe and secure when they start that up.
Hey, Ray, y'all been watching what is it, Lil Boosie and Tory Lanez do their little twerk competition on the IG Live? Y'all seen that?
No, Jared.
Yeah. I haven't got to that part of the internet yet. So.
Don't worry, I'm on Twitter enough where all I see is clips of these fools just sitting there, and girls are just tapping in. They're lit them on there, and the girls are just twerking while they're sitting there talking to them and talking shit.
What is the love affair with twerking? Maybe it's my age, or maybe I just watched too much, other films in my lifetime, and I don't see the affair of just someone sitting there just shaking with her back to me for 5 minutes.
Yeah, Aaron wants a conversation.
I want something more. No, I mean, just shaking. It's just, I'm not understanding the love affair with twerking.
Aaron's like that light-skinned dude with glasses in Players Club who was stalking her. I just want to talk to you.
I just want to talk.
Cuddy Corner Shoutouts. Cuddy Corner Shoutouts is our segment we end the show with every week. It's a chance for you to shout.
This is how I know I should be suing you. Because Cuddy was my weed dealer. And you still use the word Cuddy Corner Shoutouts. I definitely should be suing you.
You remember how that all started, though?
We started that on the first episode we recorded.
Yeah, it all started because remember the story about Cuddy came up, and I kept giving him praise for giving us shitty weed.
Yep,
Cuddy,
and Jared just ran with it.
I ran with it, and I turned it into a segment. Don't be hating. I purchased. He was my dealer for a week, and he sold me some Bammer weed for a week. Me, Aaron, and Ed wasted our money. All right, let's get to Cuddy Corner Shoutouts. Cuddy Corner Shoutouts is where you can, everyone gets the floor to complain or shout out something that they're happy about, but mainly typically complain or talk shit about something that is not working, that is bootleg, kind of like Cuddy's weed was. Cuddy Corner Shoutouts. Cuddy Corner Shoutouts.
It's time. We're burning now. God, if you let it help. So cold and bleeding now, now, now. I'm in with it, man. Gonna let you down. He had sex with my mama. We're broken people now. I just said I need a
Cuddy Corner Shoutout sponsored Scholastic Reader. Distance learning, baby. This helping with that distance learning. Little Bill.
Hey, Aaron, do you have a Cuddy Corner shout out?
Yeah, I got a Cuddy Corner shout out. My Cuddy Corner shout out today goes out for a phone call I had at 7:00 this morning, and it goes out to Comcast and Starz movie channel. Now, I pay a lot of money for my cable, a really lot of money. Too much that every time that when I turn on Starz West on the HD, it shouldn't be telling me I'm not a subscriber to it because I paid enough, so I want every fucking channel they had to offer. So I'm pissed. I'm pissed because this happened like the other day, and I really wanted to watch Zombieland Double Tap this morning. I was in the mood. I wanted to laugh. 7:30, I walked the dog. I'm like, let me watch some Zombie Double Tap while I eat my oatmeal. Nah, I got to get on the phone with Comcast. They have this stupid ass disclaimer talking about because of the COVID, they sending like you might get a representative that's at home, right? And I'm like, okay, I don't care where the fuck he at, as long as he get my shit going, right, and working. And so I had to do that whole thing where they call you back. They call back in a decent time, and then they start researching. They're like, oh, I just realized this. I'm sorry, but Stars has become a new premium thing. And I know when you pay for the package, it was part of your package, but it's no longer a part of your package. And I was like, well, I still get Stars like Encore, which shows a bunch of old ass shitty movies. He's like, yeah, that stayed part of the package. That's still a Stars package, but it's become a premium thing now, and they're charging more, so you have to pay an additional $12. I was like, no, I'm not paying. Well, they're like, it's okay. We supplemented you though. We supplemented you. You got this new channel called Epics. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? No, we supplemented. How can you send me a letter saying the Stars is leaving my shit, right? I'm over here thinking I'm going to watch Zombieland Double Tap, but I got to watch Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas instead because I got to go to Epics. And so my cutty corner go out to Comcast, your cricks. I hope James Dolan get some kind of disease from sitting at Madison Square Garden. You all a bunch of cricks. You're a bunch of thieves. You're already overcharging. I need the Fifth Circuit, as soon as we're done with this, the Fifth Circuit of Minnesota to go ahead and break up that monopoly that the Dolan started and then made all this money and just fucked us all over. My cutty corner shout out go out to Comcast. During the time I'm stuck at home, I can't get my damn channels I want. All I want to watch was Zombieland.
Adarius, you got a cutty corner shout out?
Yeah, my cutty corner shout out goes to Fred Meyers. It's the Canadian version of Target or Walmart.
Yeah.
They named everything after a dude, just like the cookie joints.
Just like the coffee joints. Yeah, Tim Horton.
Yeah, so Fred Meyers, just the cutting corner shout out to them because they don't really have a good security in place to secure the food away from white weird people. There was an incident where somebody was in the bulk buy section of the banana chips, and I'm gonna actually just demonstrate the whole move that happened. So bear with me. There was a white lady shopping for bulk buy banana chips. She grabs the scooper. She scoops the shit into the banana chips. She then opens her own hand, pours it into her hand, then puts the scooper in the palm of this hand, shoots back half of the banana chips, right? And then throws the scooper back in the bucket and takes her other dirty hand and wipes all of the rest of the chips back into the barrel. Now, in the land of COVID sexuals, I just can't put up with this no more. I'm scared of your white hands and palms. Please make sure you use sanitizer on everything you do. It's simple. That's one. Two, Beaverton is racial distancing. I'm starting to figure out. They just see my black ass, they're like, oh shit, that nigga got SARS, COVID, everything. I think they treat me like I got AIDS, which is okay. I'm fine with that. But just a realization that they just racial distancing. My son didn't do nothing to you. He's 3.
Brandon, do you have a Cuddy Corner shout out?
Oh man, we talked a little bit about it earlier, man. Shout out to my Cuddy Corner shout out goes out to Barney's, overcharging for hamburgers and French fries. Actually, my second Cuddy Corner shout out, I talked to you about this in person, man. Like I feel like the longer I'm online, the more people gotta tell me how bad they got it. Like I got furloughed from my job. I ain't working right now. But I don't need to hear about how the trash man's doing bad, how bookstores got it bad, how coffee shops got it bad. Every day there's another article about how somebody got it bad. We're all fucked at this point, right? Like we all can get it. Our lives have all been turned upside down. So yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. My Cuddy Corner shout out goes to everybody who has time to write these 3,000-word articles about how plumbers can't go in people's houses right now. Anyway, that's my
Yeah. And I need that motherfucker Jake from State Farm to lower my insurance. I've driven 1.5 miles in the last 3.5 weeks. I need him to come out and lower my shit. Jake from State Farm. I don't care what pants you wearing, what clothes you got on, lower my shit.
My Cuddy Corner shout out.
Nobody care.
My Cuddy Corner shout out goes out to positive and negative all in one. It goes out to our fund. It's an Oakland-based fund they're creating for undocumented workers and their families, or mixed status workers and their families, to gain some of the resources, because the federal bailout or the federal stimulus package that they're putting out, which a lot of it is going to big corporations as it is, but none of that money goes to undocumented workers, which a fair amount of them pay taxes and pay into the system. So our fund is an Oakland-based program that's trying to help those families who of undocumented workers through this time, because they're not going to receive any of that stimulus package. They're not qualified to receive any stimulus package. And no matter what, many of them work jobs that, help create the perceived, essential perceived living my best life reality that a lot of us have, had to step away from. And a lot of them are still working certain jobs as it is. But the reality is, we're missing out on a lot of our economic amenities right now. And for these people who are working and not able to receive any federal aid or government aid, they have it probably worse than what we would. Just want to give a shout out to our fund. If you want to donate, I recommend donating to that. That would be dope. Or, give what you can. But otherwise, just, keep in reference. We all got it bad right now, but there's people out there, like the people who are taking advantage of the long lines in front of grocery stores and using that social distancing as a way to leverage money being put in their hands, or the people who actually, are undocumented workers that are not going to be supported by the government in this time of great need. But yeah, that's my Cuddy Corner shout out. Shout out to our fund. Oakland doing some cool things. Glad that they're trying to represent, but there's a lot more cities out there.
They need to come out here and get one of them street sweepers to drive on the sidewalks. I ain't giving Oakland no credit to get some of this shit up. I like the fact they're not handing out tickets or giving street sweeping for the streets, knowing that we all home. The street sweeper, you can still pay him. He can just drive on the fucking sidewalk during those times.
The street sweeper's still coming. I seen him.
He in the middle of the damn street. I need him on the sidewalks. There's shit. There's feces. Someone threw up the other day.
That's because you live in the crack den neighborhood.
Yeah, you the mayor.
Like Aaron, you need to push. You need to go down to the assembly meetings and be like, we need more gentrification.
We can starve off gentrification if you just have the street sweep and drive on the sidewalk. Just put a sidewalk time on the day. Street sweeper be up here on this sidewalk at this time. If you in the way, you getting ran over.
You can do it how my uncle used to do it. He used to just sweep it all in the street, man. He just throw out everything, all his garbage on the street, man. He's like, I'm paying for this shit anyway.
Damn.
I don't think it worked like that, man. That's some OG shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man, that's our show. That's
it's the fastest show. Darius, I need you on the show. You got to come back, man, every time, because when you on it, Jarrett don't waste time and it don't go 5 hours.
Because he know if I'm talking about him, it's just gonna keep going. It's a slippery slope. So he's like, "Come on, man. Next topic." Because otherwise, Darius don't start talking about how.
Me and Brandon been on some 5-hour shows with Jarrett now.
Well, just let me know. I'll come back.
I'm sitting over here. I ate a big meal before I came on because I didn't know how long this was gonna last. I got a belly full of grits and deer meat.
I got to give Aaron credit. This is the first time Aaron has been not 30 minutes late in a long time.
and I'm not rushing you because I can't believe we ended the show this year. I like to give a shout out to Jarrett for being punctual. He might not know when to go to sleep now during this quarantine, but he know how to be a little more punctual and save time.
He don't want to go to sleep. He when the whole sunflower seed bag was gone. He's like, man, fuck it.
Save the next one for tomorrow. Well, anyways,
all right, man.
Well, yeah,
see
man.
y'all later.
I'm gonna leave y'all with this video, but otherwise, thank you for listening to our show. We hope you enjoyed the show. Y'all take it easy, keep it sleazy. We will leave you with this.
Even though we doing it real grand, if this rap don't work, We running up in niggas' houses, my word. We gonna be hitting the streets, son. Moving mad rock all day, selling that real heavy drug shit. Know what I mean? Or we be flipping them burgers at Wendy's, my nigga. You know what I mean? With the fries and shit. I'll do whatever, nigga. Shakes, all that extra ketchup. Here, you need some napkins, you feel me? Man, what the f is you talking about? What's that?
I think it's WrestleMania 36. Yep, you got guys jumping.
Hold on. You got permission to put this shit on?
Yeah, man. Niggas gonna get sued for all this, Jared.
You get sued for this?
Just to let you know, my name is not on. Or I'm not condone or condemn this Zoom.
If anybody has any questions, my name is Jared Sanders.
Man, this shit look like glow, Jared.
Anyways, as y'all can see, it is loud and raucous.
Oh, glamorous ladies of wrestling.
They had to bring out like 12 ladders in this match.
It's I think they're trying to grab they gotta grab the title belts. They're hanging 15 feet above the ring.
Man, I go out and get a couple out of work painters right now and come and win this match.
Where they is that an empty Walmart?
That's what it is.
They're in an empty studio fighting.
That looked like the old studio from when there was when they used to do American Gladiators.
Yeah, like the entrance to Sun Valley Mall.
Come on.
I've seen that entrance before.
So I synced this. I thought it was nice that the WWE is trying to still put on their event, but I also find it a little bit odd that they're doing it with nobody in the crowd, because a big part of wrestling is having like the crowd, like the chants, the cheers, what I'm saying, playing into the energy, and there's like those little notes of playing the crowd that you can't have when you are in an empty same studio. So
what's the pay-per-view numbers on that? It was $60 for both nights.
For both nights, I hope so.
I would pay $60 to watch a room full of men just doing nothing.
Hamburgers yesterday.
It says the price of a Barney's hamburger. I hope that's your cutting, Brandon. Say that.
Hold on. Barney's was charging that much for a burger yesterday?
So no. So we decided we're gonna eat out on a Friday, and so we got 2 burgers, 2 fries, and a salad. $65. I was like, for what?
Curly fries, nigga. 2 large curly fries is like $15, nigga. That's a dumb idea.
I gotta look at this Barney's menu.
You better off just going grocery shopping.
Calm down, Punch.
For sure, dude. That's damn.
Wait, so how much did it cost again?
Oh, $65, like before tip. And I bet you they didn't get a tip.
I remember one time I went with I got small curly fry, a burger, and a milkshake, and it was like $26. And I was like, well, y'all gonna have to hold everything but the motherfucking milkshake. All right? Because I already drank half that motherfucker while waiting for my burger. I was like, all right, look, just charge me for the milkshake. I got it.
Brandon, you didn't think something up the menu don't have prices on it anymore.
Exactly, right?
You didn't think that? I'm looking at it right now. I'm like, there's
I've
not one
been there
price.
before. It's like, dude, it's new Oakland prices, man. It sounds like Jared just got off a conference call with Professor Griff and Dr. Umar Johnson.
Bruh, that dude, is he really a doctor? Because that fool, I think he's a scam artist. He's like
a doctor, like Dr. Dre, a doctor.
He look like he has all the hallmarks of a scam artist. He
a Nigerian hoaxer.
Dude, he's like, you can't wear no non-black garb and blah blah blah. And this nigga wearing a suit and tie like he's going to a black tie event. I'm like, nigga, you wearing the hipster horcrux of European garb right now, and you over here talking about niggas can't be wearing stuff that's European style. I was like, what is wrong with you?
I like how you tried to rep your bootleg ass Instagram hipster horcrux.
Shout out to hipster horcrux sponsorship.
No,
he always trying to throw that in there.
It's a real thing, guys, and one day maybe you guys will realize it. Maybe one day.
People stop showing up to that weak ass Instagram site.
It's not an Instagram site; it's a page. Well, I stopped posting on it as much. I don't really post much on it. I got to post more on it. Tap into hipster horcrux on IG, y'all. Some real shit on there. Adarius's beard is one, and so is that jacket, and so is that scarf. I'm gonna screenshot this, Adarius. I'm gonna post you on there and say this is a confabulation of a confused Negro who is buying into all the hipster horcruxes possible.
Jared, there is nothing hipster about Adarius's signed O.J. Simpson Buffalo Bills scarf.
Thank you. My shit is fire, bro. They got a stab hole from where he actually cut.
That's how he signs it. That's how OJ signs his shit.
He said,
You're like, can I get a signature, OJ?
Bye-bye.
Hey, somebody on an OJ fake account on April 1st said, I did it.
That's fucked up. You follow an OJ account, Jared?
No, I just followed. I synced it on Twitter.
It's a fake OJ account.
He's like, this fake OJ account that I follow, he's still posting.
It's not the real. I follow the real OJ. I follow the real OJ, and all his tweets are hilarious. The real OJ.
I think you better off follow the fake OJ than the real OJ.
Yeah, go back.
He might actually be following the OJs, man. I don't know.
Hey, shout out to what is it?
Levert, Eddie Levert, baby.
Eddie Levert.
Eddie Levert.
Sponsorship.
For the love of money.
R.I.P. Gerald Levert sponsorship.
And Sean Levert. He lost both his sons.
Damn. Yeah. Adarius, you kind of look like Gerald Levert.
Sure, you kind of look like.
Say, baby, hold on to me.